Hi, I'm Lisa Gonzalez, Chief Business Officer here in Mount Diablo Unified. And in this week's episode of Ask the CBO, we're going to take a little bit of a look into retirement programs and the retirement programs that our employees participate in. So to start with, there are two different retirement programs. There's CalSTRS, otherwise known as STRS, the State Teachers Retirement System, and CalPERS. You hear that referred to as PERS, the Public Employee Retirement System. In CalSTRS, we have a number of different groups that can be part of that retirement system. We've got teachers, counselors, psychologists, speech therapists, site administrators, some of our classified leaders, including me, district office leaders that are in the educational services department, but really it is any position that requires a certificate, a credential, or some type of a permit, as opposed to CalPERS, which is also very similar to our cities and county government. This is custodial, maintenance, grounds, our food service, transportation, our technology teams, our office staff, anybody that you see in clerical roles there, anyone who assists in classrooms, fiscal, most of our HR staff. So those are really the two systems, and they operate very differently. So let me just talk about what retirement systems do. So the way that it works is that every month when employees get their paychecks, there is a contribution toward their retirement. This is required in the state of California. The employee cost cannot go up unless they are receiving something in addition to what they're already receiving. So kind of a complicated concept, but for the most part, it can only increase percentage-wise if there is something that an employee is going to get, which means that most of us who have been in the system for a very long time, it's very difficult for our side of the contributions to be increasing. So when any of us start thinking about retirement, we take a look at creditable service, and that's the number of years that we've put in. And then it takes a look at how much we might receive based on what we make every month. And I'll show an example of that in just a second. But the other important thing to really understand about this is that employers are paying the majority of the retirement costs every month that goes into the system for our employees. And each of the systems, both PERS and STRS, they have their own boards. They are organizations that manage their own investments, which is why over the last 10 years or so, the cost for districts has been increasing because there were some ineffective investments and not enough investments that were taking place during the Great Recession and beyond. And so there are increases that you're going to see in just a second. So let's take a look at how this works. I'm going to move my picture over here. Let's say that you've got a teacher and the teacher's in first grade and the teacher has been teaching for 29 years full time. The teacher just turned 28 and she's thinking about retirement. Her monthly pay right now is $4,700 a month, $4,708 to be exact. So these are some different ways that she could calculate, but she has 29 years of credit in example one. Her age factor, meaning how old she is when she retires. The age factor for her calculation is 1.76%. And she would multiply that by her final compensation. That's what she's making each month right now. And in retirement, she would be making $2,403 a month. Example two, if she didn't retire at 58 and actually waited until she was 60, she gets an age and a career factor there. Plus, she just had 2 more years of service credit, which means that for the $4,708 a month that she's making, her retirement benefit would go up to $3,211, or about $800 more just by waiting those additional 2 years. Now, if she waits until her 62nd birthday, she is then eligible for the maximum amount, so the maximum age and career factor that an employee can have in the STRS, State Teachers Retirement System. That would be 2.4%. So you take 33 years of working times 2.4% times her final compensation, and she would be receiving $3,700 a month. That's pretty much what it looks like. So let's take a look at how the contributions have changed over time. So starting with CalSTRS, this is what the employer, the school district, contributes. The school district back in 2010, 2011 was contributing 8.25% of the employee's monthly salary. What is happening over time, you can see it going all the way down here to the bottom, that has increased over time. It's pretty much doubled. And it's doubled on the employer side, again, because of what I mentioned, ineffective and inefficient investments and not enough investing. So that's pretty much what the employer side looks like. If we take a look at the employee side was able to go up a tad bit because employees were able to receive a little more, but you can see that compared to the employer side, it most definitely did not go up the same exact way. Now, if we take a look at PERS, the public employee retirement system, again, this is all of our classified, all of our support staff. 3 columns here. So I'll let you just take a look at this one for a second. So the first column you see is the normal cost for the employer. And then you see the unfunded liability. So this was a real big problem over time because so many people were retiring and not enough was put into the system. So the employer, the school district contribution jumped considerably. So way back when in 2009-10, a school district was contributing 9.7% approximately of an employee's monthly salary. It is now up to 22.91%, or almost 2.5 times what it was before. And this is why, we continue to monitor our budgets and we take a look at the impacts of these retirements, because for the most part, they're non-negotiable. We are required to pay these. Employees have earned these, but these do impact our budgets. So I appreciate those of you that asked this question about how they play out. I do have one more slide here, hang on. This is the member contributions. And so what you'll see here is you'll see what members are now contributing, and nothing has really changed here. The PEPRA is before the Reform Act, so that shows a little bit of a difference there. But again, you'll see that for PERS, the members have not had increases, the employer has. So again, this is a question that came up from many in the community. If you've ever got a question, please go ahead and send it to cbo@mdusd.org. See you next week. Thank you.